Now to our lightning round. You have 30 seconds. Should we demand China pay reparations for COVID? Mr. McCormick.
Yes, we should demand that China pay reparations for COVID. We lost 1 million Americans and trillions of dollars of value. And we should also have reparations for fentanyl, because the fentanyl is being manufactured in China. That needs to be stopped. And my credentials on fighting China are without question. I have spoken about China 15 years ago, about the risk of China. And I'm taking a lot of heat on China here. Mehmet, again, this is a perfect example of the phoniness. If you go to his financial disclosure...
Mehmet's against Chinese food. He won't go near it.
From a deal with Usana,
Mr. McCormick,
from
thank you.
DrOzSleep.com and the Chinese Communist propaganda
Ambassador
machine.
Sands, the same question.
Absolutely, but as a matter of fact, Mehmet Oz, when the pandemic hit, said we have to follow the Chinese Communist Party example. And the Chinese Communist Party is in control of the WHO. They're corrupt, and they instituted lockdowns, as we know. They're still locking their people down. We have to say, never again will we free people be locked down or accept mandates. We are citizens of the United States, and we have our constitutional rights. Of course, we should ask China, not ask. We should sue in the World Court and get reparations for our loss of life and economy.
Dr. Oz, both candidates mentioned your name. You have 30 seconds to respond.
To everybody.
You know, China has continually cheated at everything. They embed faculty in our universities. They're able to bribe some of our companies. They are able to gain access to our media. They play with our tech companies. And we have not been serious about the threat they offer. There is no question they owe us reparations. I'd start with the one, I'll just start with the debt that we have to them and the account imbalance. They refuse to.
So if I'm totally serious, if I got to choose and it was one of these 5 people who had to be the next senator, I'd probably go with Bartos.
China. Money is not good or bad, but how you acquire it is up for discussion. And when we were locked down in 2020, all in this together, Mehmet Oz was inking a deal with a manufacturer in China called DrOzSleep.com, made in China. So now he wants to talk tough and bring those jobs back. But when he had the opportunity to find manufacturing here in America, he went over there. McCormick, you cannot be in bed with China financially and not also ideologically.
Is the Republican Party...
Greta, I don't think I got that. I don't think I got one on that.
No, you'll get a lightning round question.
Okay. You promise?
Yeah, promise. Is the Republican Party big tent enough for Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Liz Cheney? Ms. Barnett, I'll give you that one first.
Liz Cheney, no. But if we can make room for AOC, clearly we can make room for Marjorie Greene.
Mr. McCormick.
Listen, I go across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I don't see a huge fragmentation in our party. I see Pennsylvanians and Pennsylvania Republicans and conservatives coming together around an America First agenda. They believe...
Wait, there's room for AOC in the GOP?
And they're terrified of the prospect of John Fetterman. Joe Biden has brought the Conservative Party together, the Republican Party together, and I think our party is going to win in 2022 because of that.
Dr. Oz?
The only thing Joe Biden has built back better is the Republican Party.
The question was about Liz Cheney.
Overtime to give us a reason to unite, but we keep showing up at cultural war knife fights with neatly arranged 3x5 index cards. We have to get into these issues. The liberals are taking over our media. They control much of government. The corporate suites are dominated by the woke ideology in our universities as well. We've got to engage at all levels. We'll need different kinds of people to access these different points.
I've been working for almost 2 decades to support our party around the Commonwealth. Now, for those of you watching at home, these 2 guys have spent almost $60 million fighting with each other. First of all, by the way, I think you should get your money back because 40% of the electorate is still undecided. But they've spent all this money fighting with each other, and my entire campaign has been about bringing the party together to fight for the people of Pennsylvania, our farmers, our energy industry, Pennsylvania families, and Main Streets, of course, across all 67 counties. That's how we win in November. We cannot trust this seat to 2 people who parachuted in here and are spending all that money fighting with each other.
Mr. McCormick and Dr. Oz, you have put out negative ads against each other. Do they violate Reagan's 11th commandment, do not speak ill of another Republican? Mr. McCormick.
Well, first, I had ads attacking me before I even announced I was running for office by Mr. Oz, so it was a good welcome to politics. And the ads that have been run against Mehmet
These guys are so dumb.
Wonderfully in Mehmet's own words. So if you call that a negative ad, I don't think so. I think that's a presentation of a set of positions that are completely incongruent with Republican voters. Listen, he's a Hollywood liberal that has held a set of positions that he has flip-flopped on every single one. And
just like Trump.
America first.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick.
And standing on President Trump's shoulders because he can't defend his record.
Dr. Oz.
Desperate Dave, dishonest again. Once again, President Trump endorsed me because he knew that these ads were as vicious towards me and untrue as they were against him, because they're delivered by insiders who are scared of what we represent, which is telling the truth and pushing back hard. I will do that for the very reason President Trump endorsed me. And just so you all know, before I even knew I was in the race, because I hadn't entered yet, I was being attacked by David McCormick. So it goes both ways.
Dr.
I'm a porcupine.
Thank you. Ambassador Sands. Ambassador Sands, when you were ambassador to Denmark.
What an informative debate.
Greenland from Denmark. What did you think about that?
He was the third U.S. president to make that suggestion, and I thought it was an awesome idea because he's a deal guy, and we know Denmark can't afford to develop or defend Greenland. But as a matter of fact, I just want to refer you to the men on each side of me. They have both flip-flopped, and we know we want to send an America First senator to Washington, not a squish, because we know that's how we're losing our country to the radical left, because the Democrat Party of today is not the Democrat Party of our childhood. It's not the party of JFK.
Ambassador, thank you very
AOC
much. Thank
and
you.
Bernie Sanders, and they're radical socialists.
Miss Barnett, you are an African-American conservative woman. 87% of African-American women vote Democrat. What is your outreach to them?
Yes, it is true. I'm black. And I've been black all my life. Fact check it. Listen, black people are not special little unicorns. We want what everyone else wants. We want good schools. We want safe streets. We want good jobs. We don't want liquor stores on every street corner. The problem is, in the Republican Party, for good or bad, we have the best story to tell. The problem is we keep picking people who suck at telling it.
Thank you, Ms. Barnett.